Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Paddington in Peru.
The movie starred Ben Whishaw, Hugh Bonneville, Olivia Colman, and Antonio Banderas.
So, Paddington 3 is the third installment in the Paddington franchise as we follow him and the Brown family heading to Peru to find Aunt Lucy, who is in the Home for Retired Bears and goes missing. It stars Antonio Banderas as the partial antagonist in this film and follows our way through Peru and to the lost treasure of El Dorado. So, I'll be starting off this review today, and I love Paddington. I think that the first two films are really good. And so, no surprise in that fact. I love this one. It was great. I think the comedy that Paddington had followed through. The changing of the actress that portrayed the mother didn't really faze me too much in that respect. I think they picked somebody that still embodied the kind of essence of the mother, but they didn't use her too much. So it didn't make too much of a difference for me because at the end of the day, the Paddington is the draw card for these films, and so he just has the same antics and kerfuffles from start to finish, just messing the place up, and he gets there in the end, but he has a fun way doing it. So I think as a kids film, as a third entry in the franchise, I really enjoyed it, and I think there's nothing really to complain about in terms of the animation was good, the storyline was good, satisfying ending, brings a message home of family and all those kind of things, and where you're really from. So I enjoyed that. Antonio Banderas did a great job. He's got that typical Spaniard energy to him, and he plays a few bits and pieces in the film. So not to spoil it too much, but you can see that throughout the film. And Olivia Colman does a good job as the Mother Superior kind of nun character throughout the film. Very ominous role. So yeah, but I think it was a fantastic watch. Moon?
For me, Paddington movies are really important. So there was like a whole year I watched both of them like every single month. Paddington 2 is like my one of the favorite movies of all time. So yeah, but I didn't have any like expectation that it's gonna be like the first two. And when I think it was the first scene and Sally Hawkins wasn't there, so my heart just dropped. I was drenched. I was like, she was such a quintessential character in the first two movies. So it took me about like 20 minutes or so to get with the flow with the new actress. Like John, you didn't have any problems, but so as the movie progressed, I kind of get into it, and I'm just loving this character. I love this world. Like everyone is so good, and I think Aunt Lucy is a draw here again, and Paddington is looking for her, and everything is so perfect. And the ending, oh, I was gonna cry. Honestly, it was so good. Yeah, the only gripe is just that took me a while to get into it because Sally Hawkins wasn't there. But apart from that, this movie is like the first two is very emotional and it's funny in bits and just another great Paddington movie. Cameron?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Watching this movie, it left me smiling throughout the whole movie with the traditional Paddington comedy run through with the emotional ending and how it really pulls on the heartstrings. All three of the movies tend to do that to me. So yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was refreshing going to Peru rather than being in London again. So that was really a good choice for me. Kept me more invested and refreshed, seeing new sceneries and seeing Paddington in a new environment. And just I was always worried about the villain coming in after Hugh Grant's amazing performance in the second one, but Antonio Banderas, they really know how to write villains in these movies. This villain really held his own compared to Hugh Grant's, and it really was great to see, and it really caught me by surprise, and he did bounce off himself a few times, and it was thoroughly enjoyed, and his growth throughout the movie was really well written as well. But yeah, I thought the third one was a great movie.
Yeah, I think they leaned more on Mrs. Bird for this film.
Yeah, they did.
That's what I think they
Mm.
did to subvert you from having the mother being the
Yeah, Sally
protagonist.
Hawkins was there.
So I think that was a good choice, to be honest, and not to have her so much of a caricature of original mother, you know, because
Yeah,
it's very
so
hard to
you
replace
can't
that acting
replace her.
style.
So they sort of like I was feeling in the beginning the families they're not the connection is not there, but that was the whole point of the movie that at the
Yeah.
end they will get
Yeah.
together. So I kind of like that story. And like Cameron said, Antonio Banderas was yeah, all the villains like Nicole Kidman in first
Yeah.
and
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant in second. So it was hard to top those two, and he did his own thing. And
I think
he's
still for me, Hugh Grant's like
Hugh
my
Grant is
favorite
Hugh
of
Grant.
all the
So
villains.
Yeah.
I think you just can't. I don't think there's. And also, if you're going to see this film, make sure you stay at least post credits are probably the bit that you want to stay for. The end credits is a tiny thing, but you don't want to wait around. It's not the biggest miss. It's more the post
yeah,
credit
post.
thing that you want to make sure you hang on for. So yeah, it's something good, but I'm not going to spoil it any further than that. But yeah, I think that Olivia Colman, you know, was an interesting character because I didn't know from the trailers how much she was going to be in it, and well, I didn't really know her character direction, if that made sense. At first, I thought she was just going to be like the person helping from base. I didn't really see where that character was going to go, so I kind of knew where Antonio Banderas' character was coming from in terms of the villain track. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, that for me was interesting, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I think great addition to the story. I hope they make a Paddington. I hope it doesn't end here.
You know what? I'm gonna say that's it. We should not make another one. This
Yeah.
is a perfect trilogy for me, so let's stop here.
I don't know. I like the ending. You know, I don't
I
want to
love
get
the
into it,
ending,
but
and
I see potential. You know.
see, sometimes you get lost in potential, so yeah, I don't want to ruin
Sometimes
this.
too much of a good thing is not a good
Yes,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
well said.
But yeah, I tend to be on that Moon's bandwagon. You know, when I'm mostly satisfied, that's when you need to cut me off because you keep feeding me, and I'm probably going to get sick of it, and then it
Yeah.
just sours the taste for the whole franchise, maybe. But yeah, for this movie, I was a bit skeptical already for a third one because number two for me ended perfectly, but they did pull their own in this one, so
Oh,
they did a good job.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, guys, going to give our scores.
Yep.
Moon, how many marmalade sandwiches out of 10?
I'll give it 9 marmalade sandwiches out of 10.
John?
Eh, I'm gonna give it 9 marmalade sandwiches out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 8 marmalade sandwiches out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.